Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. Our guest today is Petro Poroshenko. He's Ukraine's former president. He was president between 2014 and 2019. He joins us from Kyiv. Mr. Poroshenko, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much indeed.
Mr. Poroshenko, you were just in Chernihiv. Chernihiv is the largest town to date to come back under Ukrainian control after weeks of Russian siege. It is 150 kilometers north of Kyiv, near the border with Russia and Belarus. So after what was found in Borodyanka, after what was found especially in Bucha, did you witness similar things, similar crimes, I should say, in Chernihiv?
The tragedy is never similar. Tragedy of Bucha is the symbol of the massacre of Russian troops organized here in Kyiv region. Tragedy in Mariupol, tragedy in Akhtirka, tragedy in Gostomel, tragedy in Borzel, tragedy in Irpin, tragedy in Chernigov. This is the tragedy in the world, which is brought by the Russian barbarian. Problem is that they are killing civilians. They are raping the women on behalf of their children. They are killing without any explanation elderly people. And this is definitely will stay forever for those who participate in this massacre. And our initiative today is those who was recognize and identify in these tragedies. Definitely we should create, same way like list of Magnitsky in Russia, now we should create list of Bucha, list of Borodyanka, list of Chernihiv, but let's name it list of Bucha. And those people who definitely need to be prosecuted, need to be punished, that never again this tragedy repeat. We will coordinate our efforts with our European partners, including the French, with our American partners. We have a technology can identify the faces of those who killing civilians, who come to Ukraine to provide this disastrous thing and be responsible. We need now just to fight against genocide, against Ukrainian people. This is exactly what they do. And with that situation, I think that the punishment for this barbarian, international sanction before and after Bucha massacre definitely should be different. We still have the war, but the nature of the war after Bucha is changed. The sanction should be more devastating, firmer, and the Bucha list for those responsible for crimes to be prosecuted according to international law and in Ukrainian court, because they make crimes here in Ukraine against Ukrainian people. And I absolutely confident that Russia should be thrown away from the International Council of the Human Rights, because Russia have not anymore the right to speak about the human rights after the Bucha. And I call on Ukrainian international partners now, please, return to Ukraine, and with your presence in Bucha, in Chernihiv, in Gostomel and in Borodyanka, just start to be a symbol of solidarity with Ukraine. And the things is now, if we try to explain what's going on and why is the compromise with Russia is impossible after Bucha, because Putin wanna have all of us dead, and we wanna live. Putin wanna wipe Ukraine from the world map, and we wanna live in our country with a 1,000-year history. And with this situation, definitely, it's impossible to find out a compromise between devil and a normal human society in Ukraine with a European future.
Mr. Poroshenko, from what you just said and the emotional way in which you phrased it, it means that there shouldn't be any talk with Vladimir Putin, yet this is what the Zelensky administration is trying to do. They're trying to talk with the Russians to negotiate. You're saying we don't talk to the devil.
Look, I have 5 years of experience for negotiation with Putin. And definitely it shouldn't be discussed the amnesty for the criminals who make these crimes in Bucha. It shouldn't be the discussion for the barbarian who do all the things in different towns of Ukraine. But you cannot find any people in the world who want peace more than we Ukrainian ones. And we should together need to force Putin to peace. And the point number one, which should be immediately discussed, ceasefire, unconditional, without any preliminary talks. Stop killing Ukrainians. Stop fire. Point number two, withdraw Russian troops. Point number three, withdraw heavy artillery and weapons. And then let's discuss the principle about the European security and the principle for the global security.
Right.
There is no aim, but at the same time, it cannot be the question of negotiation, a question of compromise, the question of the territorial integrity and independence and sovereignty of Ukraine.
Right.
Because I can tell you, if in the year 2008, on Bucharest summit, if Ukraine will have received the membership action plan in NATO, and in the year 2013 or 14, Ukraine can obtain the full membership in NATO, definitely it would be no aggression in Crimea, no aggression in Donbass, and no full-fledged war against Ukraine.
Mr. Poroshenko, do you sense that the Russians have abandoned Kyiv, the north, and they're now focusing on the east? You just mentioned Donbass. Do you believe that Vladimir Putin might be trying to partition Ukraine?
Definitely not, because I'm proud that it was me as a president of Ukraine and Supreme Commander-in-Chief of Ukraine in the year 2014-2019 create the armed forces. And these new NATO standard armed forces stopped Russian troops and threw him away from Kyiv. And he understands that this is impossible to keep the front against Ukrainian armed forces for 2,000 kilometers. And they make a decision to fight against Ukrainian women, Ukrainian children, and Ukrainian elderly people. And with that situation, it was not Putin who made a decision to withdraw his troops from Kyiv, but these troops would be encircled by Ukrainian armed forces. And he's saving his troops, withdraw him back to Belarus, another country who is aggressor against Ukraine, and send them to Donbass. We just want to make a statement, we never give up. But Putin not stop attacking us. Putin said to the whole world that this is the de-escalation. De-escalation a la Putin means words, no deeds. And with this situation, definitely, we in Kyiv continue to prepare, to fight, to protect, to defend Kyiv from the Russian troops. And this must be vigilant, and we do not allow Putin to destroy Kyiv. We do not allow Putin to destroy Ukraine, and we are ready for the process to meet him, to meet Russian troops.
Very quickly, because we're running out of time, the U.S. Senate anonymously voted a so-called Land-Lease bill for Ukraine, which would, in a nutshell, expedite arms sales to Ukraine. Do you believe this is, the House still needs to approve it, but it seems a given. Do you think that this could be a game changer in Ukraine's objective to arm itself with really the weapon it believes it needs?
Thank you very much to United States senators. Thank you very much to US administration and leadership, to the President Biden. And this is the implementation of my 5-step plans, which I proposed 3 weeks ago. Point number 1, Lend-Lease, from nutrition to ammunition. Point number 2, the second front, for sanction and embargo must be hell for Putin. Point number 3, Bucha list. Point number 4, the European perspective for Ukraine, and point number 5, Marshall Plan. We have also very positive message for the Marshall Plan from all our Western partners, and I call to the French people, please do the same as United States Senate. Make an act about Lend-Lease, but from the French side. This is extremely important.
Petro Poroshenko, I want to thank you very much for being with us from the streets of Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. And I want to thank you for watching this edition of the interview here on France 24.